Hello, my desktop publishing students. This is another review assignment for you. It's again using Hlookup, VLookup, and your if statements. Okay, so first of all, it said your VLookup table data is on the product sheet. So let's go to the product sheet, and there's our data. All right, so I'm going to select. Now, I'm not selecting the first line. Remember, I'm only selecting the data, and that's from A2 down to C67. All right, click in your name box, and we're going to put T for table here, and we're going to call it T. I'll call it T products, okay? So T products. All right, and press enter, and now once again check it. So click in a blank cell and click on your drop down and choose T products, and everything highlights properly, so that's good. All right, go back to your invoice sheet. Okay, on your invoice sheet, oh, I forgot to say to you, I opened up the one called Hlookup VLookup products, XX Hlookup VLookup products, and I saved it with my name on it. Okay, all right, so now go to cell C14. So go to cell C14, and we want to pick up the description for the item number FQ999559. All right, so it says use a VLookup that displays the appropriate description for the item whose number is in B14. All right, nest the formula with an if statement to see that checks to see that if cell B14 is blank, and if so, leave it blank. Copy this formula down the column to C27. All right, so we're going to put in equals if, and we said if the item number equals blank, quote, quote, comma. If it's true, leave it blank, quote, quote, comma. And now if it's not, VLookup, did I spell lookup right? Yes. VLookup, and the lookup value is the item number, comma, F3, and my table is called T products, comma, and where is my answer? The description is in column 2. And we want to find an exact value, so use false. All right, close your parentheses and press enter. Oh, I'm short one parenthesis, so put it in for me. Okay, so there should be 2 parentheses, as you can see up here. I forgot to press the 1. Okay, so grab your fill handle and drag down to C27. Now, this cell has the formula in it. Take a look. And this cell has the formula in it. But remember, these numbers were blank, so the computer said, leave it blank. All right, so our quantity is 1, and the price per unit now the price per unit, click in cell E14, and here the instructions say key in a formula using VLookup that displays the price per unit for the item whose number is in cell B14. Nest the formula with an if statement that checks to see if cell B14 is blank, and if so, place a 0 in the cell. Copy this formula down to E27. So we want to say equals if, and if this cell B14 equals, quote, quote, then put in a 0. Otherwise, VLookup. Open up your parentheses, and you want to look up the item number, comma, and press F3. Your table is called T products, comma, and your answer is in column 3, comma, and this is an exact match. Now, this time I'm going to put in, first of all, my red parentheses to close my VLookup, and then my black parentheses to close the if statement, and press enter. Okay, and we looked up the price per unit, and note this time you see that hyphen, that tells you that it's put a 0 in there, so it can be calculated. All right. Okay, so the total then would be equals the quantity times the price. And again, we're going to drag it all the way down, and we should have 0 zeros again, because remember there's no value in here, so nothing, and no quantity, so we can't get any answers there, which is fine. Now the order total, click in cell F28, you're going to go Alt equals and press enter. Okay, now for the tax, it said in cell F29, key in an if statement to calculate the sales tax. Assume that if E11 equals MB, then there's a tax of 8%. Otherwise, there's no sales tax to be paid, and put in a 0. All right, so we want to say equals if, and we want to say if E11 equals, quote, MB, quote, because it's text. If that's true, then you are going to take 8% times the invoice amount. So then we're going to take, is 8% marked here? I'm going to pretend that 8% is here. So I'm going to make it absolute. All right, times my order total. Otherwise, put in a 0 and close your parentheses and press enter. Okay, so I'm going to put my 8% here so that you can see that. All right, so it said then that if E11 equals MB, there's a tax of 8% times the order total. Otherwise, it is 0. Now watch, if I go back and I change this from MB to AB and press enter, the tax is 0, like we said it should be. Now I'm going to put it back to MB. Okay, that's good. All right, now my shipping. Now my shipping is going to be using an Hlookup formula, so I've got to define the table. So here's my table, and remember we only want the data, so therefore we select here just the data. Click in here and we'll call it T shipping. Okay. So now this is quite an easy one. First of all, let's check it. Click in a blank cell, click on your drop down and choose T shipping, and it defines properly. Here's your lookup value, the first row. Here's your shipping cost in the second row. So not a hard one to do. All right, for shipping in cell F30, it said display the shipping cost, okay? And it says check to see that if F28 is 0, then place a 0 in the cell. Otherwise, calculate the shipping cost, okay? So we want to say equals F. And if this cell, F29, equals 0, comma, if it's true, put in a 0. Otherwise, VLookup, or pardon me, not VLookup, Hlookup. And we want Hlookup. So the lookup value is the order amount, okay, comma, and my table array F3 is called T shipping, comma, and the answer is in row 2. Remember we said there was only one answer, and we want to find an approximate value, so true. All right, now put in my red parentheses to close my Hlookup statement, and now put in my black one to close my if statement. So the shipping was $110. The total order then would be equals sum, open your parentheses, and we have to add the order, tax, and the shipping. So the total order would be $1,064.04. All right, save your work. And the last one tells us to go to the product sheet, and it tells us to go to column D and add a heading called ratings. Okay, and now we're in cell D2, and it asks us to create a nested if statement. to indicate that all prices that are more than or equal to 25 are good value. Prices more than or equal to 20 are fair value, and prices that are more than or equal to 15 are satisfactory. Anything else is cheap. All right, so we want to put in equals if. And we want to say if the price is more than or equal to 25, remember no dollar signs, no commas, then you're going to go quote, and you're going to put in good value, quotation marks, comma, if, open your parentheses again, if the price is more than or equal to 20, then you're going to put in fair value. So quote fair value, quotation marks, and then comma, if, open your parentheses, and you want to say if the price is more than or equal to 15, then you're going to go quote, and you're going to say satisfactory, quotation marks, comma, and the last one, meaning our false value, is you're going to say cheap. So quotation marks, cheap. Spell it right. C-H-E-A-P, quotation marks. So we said anything that's more than or equal to 25, good value. If C2 is more than or equal to 20, fair value. If C2 is more than or equal to 15, satisfactory. Anything else is cheap. All right, so we need 1, 2, 3, yeah, parentheses. Press enter, and now grab your fill handle and drag down. And widen your column, and there you've evaluated all the prices according to your ratings. All right, save your work. That's the end of that question. You know how to do your headers and footers. I'm not going to go over that, so I'm going to stop there.